Ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Matthew. Hi, nice meeting you. Dusk is the one behind you. Can you show yourself, Dusk? Come on.
Yeah.
Turn it around a little there.
Oh.
There you go. I see you, Dusk.
Alright.
There's Dusk. Okay, here we go. Anyway, we're going to start this off on the whole thing is to try and since it's to bring down sort of where maybe we get a chance to see you, and so we'll just try and get through this thing with the family a little bit to interest you in wanting to see us, I guess, because it's for sure an uptight situation. Okay, this guy. Okay, your mother. So come on down here, Kathy. I mean, so that's your mother. Is it focusing? And these pictures of your mother. That's actually, this is your mother here, right there, and this is your Aunt Jeannie.
Right.
And this picture here of all the women, they gave me this picture here one time for my birthday of all the women when they're still alive. I think your mother is this one here. And anyway, and the story is basically this guy Walter Smith and his wife Caroline, which is this guy here. Caroline, which I'll try and find that picture. Well, I'll find it here sometime. They had 10 children, and he came here in, I think, 1863 as an art instructor in Boston, and he worked for them for the Board of Education for 11 years. Here is sort of a.
Where?
You got to let it get focused. Yeah. So here we're coming off. Got to get my glasses on. We're coming off Ernest here. Ernest, Walter, and Walter Delacour. And here, as you can see, here you are, Kathy and Matthew. Here's Vanessa with Dylan, and here's David with all his children, Jesse, Angelina, Monty, and Precious. And then Vanessa with Dylan. And, or David with Dylan, and Vanessa, oh, we don't have that one. We got to include that. Vanessa with Ryan. Anyway, so big family, starting out here in the early, or 1791, you know, and a big family. Big family. And all this stuff, too, I would gladly send it to you if you ask for it, duplicates. So, okay, so then this guy, Walter, he comes here, and he writes a book, which I can't seem to see it right now. Well, here's one of them, but it wasn't him. This is the history. This is it's another picture of him. He's sort of the history of, here's another picture here when at the time. I guess this was him when he's younger. Other pictures here. I don't know what happened to that art history book. His main document is oh, here it is this one here on art history. But he you know, he look at here. Here's all the things that he wrote, all these different these documents, books. So quite prolific.
And this book is also at
Barnes and Noble.
Also.
So he quite a famous dude, and in the education of mechanical art. Now, why did they hire him? Well, in the exposition of 1857, they found that the working class here didn't have all of these art skills, being able to duplicate flowers over and over and over, and producing pottery and production of pottery and other things. So they brought him in to bring up the skills, and then he formed this, they passed a law, every school or every town that was over 5,000, they had to initiate sort of like the fourth reading, writing, and spelling and drawing. I guess reading, writing, and math and drawing. So, and that went on for 11 years. A lot of books were produced, and oh, the other thing is he started this the Mass Institute of Art in Boston, which is sort of a famous school. When you look him up on Google, he's sort of the unknown or unknown Walter Smith. All these things that, let's say, he accomplished, but they're very little history, or there hasn't been a movie made of him, or you know, he doesn't get recognition like he should. But that's sort of as the family as a whole. I think in a way it's French, the discrimination, like you see with the women that are French in the earlier stage, they're called ladies and part of prostitution. At least that's the historical thing. So I think that's a lot of the discrimination when you have a French name. But anyway, I'm sort of telling you this, and then I'm going to send this to other relatives, and you're really getting a short version here. Other relatives, and maybe they could dig out what they have, and they could show you on a iPhone or something, and you get a sort of an idea. I hope that you'll accept us coming down and visiting with you. That can really happen pretty simple, and I hope that other people in the family will send you things and try and get to know you. And I'd sure like to get to, know what your history is and what your whole life. What do you say? Just say something. Let me see. Okay, just say something. He's hiding here. Come on, Matthew.
You get this too?
Oh yeah, there's another article. An artful era at the time. Sort of in Boston, for sure, is a much more affected that area, New England. Another book that he's in. In many books. Ernest, okay, that would be my grandfather. He became, that would be one of the 11 kids or 10 kids. Here. He was a counselor and a bookkeeper, and he, here's a document. Here's signed by the Queen Victoria, yeah, that initiates him as a counselor in some countries. So he was a counselor in various countries. In the consulate, he was a counselor. He didn't have the best history. He's at times sort of a gangster, I think. His father died, that would be Walter, when he was very young. So they didn't have a welfare system in England. I think he got into swords. He was a dueler. It's just he has a little bit of a shady history. More interesting. Actually, there's quite a story of somebody went and did. I mean, a lot of people have written books, but if it included some of the offspring, very, it would be an interesting story. Anyway, Matthew and others in the family, or others, please add to this. Thank you. Thank you. I love you all.